Show me love, make a change. Time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me light, show me love. Show me light, show me love. Make a change. Time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me light, show me love. This is all we got. Show me light, show me love. This is all we got. Show me love, show me love. This is all we got. Show me love. This is all we got. Show me love. This is all we got.
I swear one day we're going to start this show with a jam session. I love my song. I just love my opening song. Good morning, my beautiful people. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to another episode of Inspirational Beauty with Lulu-Lee because it's Wednesday. So here we are on our season, The Road to Wellness. You know, the vibes. We started season 2 already. And I want to hear from you in the chat because we're here and it's already live. My halo is here. Hello from Israel. Hello, hello. And good morning from Brooklyn, New York. So, welcome to the episode. Today, we're talking about spiritual wellness. And you know, today's guest is very special and near and dear to my heart. I'm so excited to have him here. Very grateful that he made the time to spend some time with us. You're going to get to meet an extraordinary person, soul, human, spirit, all of it. So please, if you think you know anybody that is on the road to wellness, learning about wellness, if you've been here before, you know we spoke a little bit about physical wellness. We spoke about the environmental wellness and how that affects us, our occupation and how that affects us. Share this broadcast, let a friend know, click the little share button, of course, click the little hearts too, so more people can get exposed to us in here. My sister is saying, I'm dancing in the opening. Me too. I love it. I love it. It's a vibe, you know, this song is just a vibe. So today we're speaking about spiritual wellness, and in our segment or our season, you know, the thing about spiritual wellness, and I kind of wanted to start with that because when we speak about spirituality, a lot of people always think about religion, right? It's not. Spirituality is very different. And spiritual wellness, and what's beautiful about it to me anyway, is the fact that you really don't have to have a connection to a higher power or a religious practices. Spiritual wellness is all about the connection to yourself. You know, that developing and cultivating the self-awareness of who you are, your experience, right, in this world, and your perspective of it all. That's really what can help grow and cultivate your spiritual wellness, your connection to yourself. That's really what it's all about. Let me see who's here saying good morning. Good morning from Jersey. Good morning, Mr. Baker. It's always good to have you here. Oh, Dr. Loren, I can't wait to bring you up on the stage. Thank you for being here. The honor is all mine. Hello, hello, Mirav. Thank you for being here. So yeah, I made a little something. You know how I do. There's always gonna be some quotes, and there's always gonna be a little something to read about spiritual wellness. Going to touch on that real quick before I'm going to bring Dr. Loren on to share his story. And another thing about spiritual wellness, and I think it's here in what I'm going to read you guys, but it's really about the connection of mind, body, and soul. It really is all. Let me see. There I am. All of it as one package. That's the beauty of spiritual wellness because, like I said, it's our connection to ourselves. So, can your connection to yourself affect your well being? Hmm. Let's see about that. Spiritual wellness is really the overall wellness of one's inner self, emphasizing the connection between mind, body, and spirit. Just like I said, wow, I can see without my glasses. I'm feeling so proud right now. Oh my goodness, what is happening? I think it's Dr. Loren's energy here affecting me. I'm seeing much better. 2020. Spiritual wellness involves finding meaning in life and our role in the world, cultivating positive values and nurturing deep connection with ourselves and others. Feeling connected to a higher power, living by a sense of morals and ethics, showing reverence for life, and developing an awareness of oneself are some of the ways spiritual wellness can look like in your life. That's kind of in a nutshell what spiritual wellness is all about. And it really is. That's why it's about the ethics and the values and the standards that you have in your life and the way you find that connection to yourself. And I think throughout the whole first season, really, we spoke a lot about different ways to connect to ourselves, between our mindset and mindfulness and finding, time to do maybe mindfulness through art. And we spoke about the connection to our soul and our morning rituals and things of that nature. All of that can bring us back into ourselves, and with that, into the place of full, complete well being from mind, body, and soul. Um, there are a couple of quotes I have for you guys. Let's see. Soli, hi, good morning. Miami, yes, girl. I'm ready to come visit over there because New York weather is not being cute lately. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you. We got Israel, we got Miami, we got Jersey, we got New York. It's popping. Um, so there is a quote that I got that I think is personally it's one of my favorite quotes always, just to kind of, I guess, sum up one's experience in this life. But I felt like it aligns with what we're talking about right now. So we are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And if we really truly believe that there's something bigger than us, right? And that we are here for a bigger purpose and a bigger meaning, and that our role in this world is bigger than us, it will be easier for us to connect to ourselves and to do good. And the physical, when things are happening to us on that aspect and that dimension of well being, it's not gonna, shut us down or really kind of take away from our overall well being. We spoke about diseases before. In the first episode of this season, I had Tracy here and Tracy Randolph, and we spoke about our breast cancer journey and how we actually took it with grace and with gratitude. So you can do things like that when your spiritual wellness is in a place where you really are constantly nurturing it and cultivating it. And you can do that through, meditations and journaling and going out to nature and all these things that really help cultivate wellness in your life. I think I still have this. My daughter was supposed to be another surprise guest today, but it's their last day of vacation and she decided she wants to sleep late. So I brought this back for her, but I'm going to read it to you guys. Small things that are good for your health. Smile a lot, listen to music, help someone, use herbs, move around, take small breaks throughout your day, spend time in nature, and absolutely do something fun because that's what it's all about. So that's overall wellness. That's just a reminder. And don't forget hydration, hydration, hydration. But in generally, when we talk about spiritual wellness, some of those things really can help with our connection to ourselves. I'm going to go real quick to the live chat before I'm going to bring Dr. Loren here. Sean Jones in here. Good morning, darling. If you missed last week's episode, Sean was my guest. It was an incredible show. What a story this beautiful soul has. You want to, yes, from Philly. I got Philly in the house too. You really want to listen to that episode, honestly. Um, Chicago in the house too. Hello. Indeed, true. I'm going to bring Dr. Lauren right now because I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for a conversation with this man. So, this is part of our soul sanctuary, which is our spiritual well being. So, without further ado, allow me to present to you my mentor, my business coach, my crazy download friend, teacher that always there for me when I need to hear the right thing. He is he really is a legendary mindset coach, and he's the CEO of Trajectory Network, TV network, which is part of the network that this show is connected to. He's the one to encourage me to even start a show. We had a moment with my billboard. We might talk about that because that was kind of a cosmic moment that really showed us our alignment and the strength between what we're doing. We both went on a health journey together almost at the same time. So we have so many beautiful connections. This man serves constantly. The first thing he'll ask you when you meet him is, how are you planning to ease the suffering in the world? Right? That's what his goal is. That's what his purpose in life is. What a life story. He moved from so many houses as a little boy and a teenager. It's just I will actually share with you guys some of his ways to connect with him, his YouTube, his website, so you can read and listen to podcasts that he was on. Because when you talk about resilience and strength and beauty and power and an inspirational beauty story, that's literally the definition of Dr. Loren Michaels-Harris. So, without further ado, I will bring him onto the stage right now.
Oh,
Hello, hello. Ooh, we still got that behind us. Let's change that.
good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here. Now, I
Yes.
notice you have some stuffed little things behind you.
Oh, these?
Yeah, down there underneath that bookshelf. So I'm going to mail you another one to put there.
Oh, thank
It's a little
you.
creepy. Is that not the creepiest thing ever? We have an aunt who comes up with the
Who
funniest
made that?
Brian's aunt. Jan, I mean his aunt Jan.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Isn't
That is,
that
wait, wait,
scary?
I gotta put this full screen. Let's go. Let me see that.
Right. So I kind of hide in.
Ah, let me
Oh,
see who's here too. Boker Tov, my Naomi. Thank you for being here. I love you. I'm so happy to see you here all the time. My Brooklyn, New York. So
Lord.
welcome to the show, Dr. Lauren, the show that you helped created and supported me in this journey and gave me the platform and the inspiration to do it. So I'm so happy and honored to have you here. Um, Sean says it's hilarious.
Be hilarious.
The show we spoke about it is from weight loss to wealth and the divine wellness journey, because you really went through a beautiful journey. And we're just talking about the last few months of your life because your whole life is a divine journey.
Yeah.
But take us into this place where you feel wellness and spiritual wellness, divinity, the weight loss, the physical wellness, all started and kind of collaborated, I guess, or collided together in your life and started creating this change that led to where you are right now in your life.
Okay. Well, you know, I remember way back near the beginning. And when I speak of what I ascribe to as greater than me, that's what I call it. Greater than. Everything
Greater
greater
than.
than me. Right. And so I remember when I heard, hey, Loren, huh? That was me talking back. You know what we love about you? What? And they said, let's just say Source, Spirit, God had a bookshelf behind the desk where he kept a book that spoke to how we deal with each one of you personally. Well, your book would be one of those white, black, and yellow books y'all have down there. Motivation or whatever for dummies. And I was like, really? Wait a minute. Hey, were you just calling me? And they're like, no. But what we love is that you keep it simple. I really do. I really do. And I used to think that was a bad thing. That why aren't I as smart as everybody else? How come I can't understand how to do something a certain way, but I can still execute it in my own way? And at the end of the day, or at the beginning, people will say, well, what you just did is called this, or this. And so it was like this. When I started this journey consciously,
Yes.
there's the bell.
Yes.
It was like I was running on a racetrack, like a track and field track, but there was only one lane, the one I could see, the one I could understand. But once I made it around, I didn't even have to run 4 times to equal a mile. I just had to keep running. Suddenly there were 2 lanes, and I realized I had 1 foot in each, and I was running down the middle. Next thing you know, there's 3 lanes, 4 lanes, 5 lanes. So what I'm saying is, what it transitioned into from those laps of running a race, when it really started getting good, was when that image I saw in my mind transformed into a target. Like you're playing, you're doing bow and arrows, or you're doing darts.
Yes.
All the circles in the bullseye. That's when it really began to change, because it said you're no longer running the race from that aspect, but now you're running the race from this aspect. This is the target. Don't worry about always shooting arrows of truth wherever you can in the world. Now it's time for you to start showing up, Loren, as the target for truth. So, right. And that all of a sudden, the center was filled with arrows, because the truth never misses its mark. That's how I knew it didn't land out here or over here or down here. It landed straight center, middle of the bullseye, every single time. And that is how I got connected to my intuition, my instinct, my intuitiveness, my inspiration, my insight, my innocence, my intentions, all of those wonderful, wonderful attributes that are protected right here. And the only way something can change that from going due north is through our personal invitation. So the wellness thing, I had started. See, that's the wonderful thing about Source. Source will meet you where you're at. Come as you are, it says. And I worked on mental things first. I worked on spiritual things simultaneously. But the physical part was very difficult and challenging for me. When I was 50 years old, I literally woke up during the colonoscopy. They tell you to go get it 50. Just about 30 seconds, if that much. But I looked at the screen and I saw the inside of my body for the very first time in real time. I was like, dang, look at all that, and it looked so pure and clean and delicate and fragile. So when I woke up, I said, you know what? I got to do better. And happened to catch myself looking in the mirror not long after that, which had never happened. Well, it hadn't happened in many years. For about 30 some years, I had unconsciously shaved my head, shaved my face, brushed my teeth in the shower. I had no Facebook profiles, no pictures anywhere unless I was doing this. And then it all came rushing in. You don't like what you see. So that's why you don't look in windows as you pass by, because they have a reflection. We don't
Thank
look at mirrors when you go in and out of people's houses. You know how they're like, looking
you.
good. Okay, I'll check you out later. No, I didn't do anything. I went like this. Quit looking at me. Right.
Right.
And so I caught myself accidentally without a shirt on in the mirror. And it scared the crap out of me. I thought it was somebody else. It was like a black Alfred Hitchcock over there. Good evening. I'm not kidding. I was like, whoa. I almost ran. Then I realized it was me. And I was like, what in the world? Turn around. Oh, hell no.
Hell no. Right. Right.
And that's when I decided that I was going to do something. So I'll just say this to wrap it up. It only took 9 weeks to go from 198.8 pounds
Mm.
to this in 9 short weeks.
Wait, let me
This was at
see.
age 50. Now go. Oh, yeah, I see what you're doing. Yeah,
Hey.
at age 50, right? And
Incredible.
I did not know that was even in there.
Right.
I thought that was people who were lucky. It
Mm.
was in their, genes, their DNA.
Yes.
And then I found it 10 years later, this year. I decided to do it again. I was at 198.8 again.
Mm.
And then changed
And
it.
what I want to ask you, like, what do you feel contributed to that? You know, I guess gain weight again, or is
COVID.
it stress? What is it?
COVID was the main thing for
COVID,
me.
really?
Oh,
Mm.
yeah. I cooked and ate my way. I thought we're going to be dead anyway or whatever. I was like, we ain't never getting out of here, because you know how we started and we thought it'd be a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, just a few weeks, right? And,
Yeah.
So I really buried myself in cooking.
Yeah.
They
I would
call it
love to hear from our audience too in here to put in the chat, how did COVID affect your wellness journey? Because for me, it was the exact opposite, by the way. I was working out like 3-4 hours a day, just closing myself in my room, putting music on, working out, meditating, working out again, meditating again. I just got like, I was ripped. When I tell you it was the best I looked in my life. It
man.
was insane. I was baking and cooking for my kids, but I was starting my morning like until 1 p.m. I didn't even leave my room, and I was just focused on like lifting weights and doing cardio. So, yeah.
Not us. We were eating and binge watching every show we get our hands on. Right. And so,
Yeah.
of course, it caught up with us.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
so you saw yourself again in a reflection,
you know
or
what it
how was
was?
that?
I had
Mm-hmm.
Jane from
Yes.
Metabolic Balance Diet on my show, and she had said something about the incorporation of AI in medicine, and she had the cookbook, and they said, well, we take your blood, send it to the labs, they would tell us what things are over the top, and with mine it was only one number, and it was inflammation. It was the only red number out of all of them, and at 63 years old, or 62 then, because I just turned 63 4th of July, and I was 62 then, and I was like, well, that's not so bad. And then she explained to me that the AI, they would send it to these two scientists in Germany, and they would incorporate it with the AI, and they would tell me what to eat, what not to eat, where to get it, and all this stuff. And boy, I'm not kidding. The food list that was spit out, the moment I hung it on the refrigerator, the list, I was looking at it, and it was almost like they were like, closer, come here, let us holler at you. And I was like, some of the things on there I'd never heard of. Gooseberries. What in the world? What is a gooseberry? I couldn't have blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, but I could have some gooseberries. Now, where do you find those? Dr. Seuss's garden? Right. So, no, seriously, I was like, that ain't
No,
real.
I've never heard of gooseberries either, so I feel you.
So here's the deal. Just to make it a short way to it. It was about 4 weeks later. I was in a grocery store, walking and minding my own business, getting things in the produce department, and all of a sudden, I swear, I heard, psst. And I saw oranges because I Googled what they look like. Gooseberries? Right. So I went over there, and gooseberries are now one of my greatest friends, one of my strongest friends. And so,
Are they tasty?
no, they're very tangy and tarty, very nice. So I
Okay.
put them on top of salads and stuff. But the point is, my body. Now I've hit my optimum weight. in February, early
Mm.
March, and stopped weighing foods and things like that. By mid-March, started cheating just to see how easy I could go back the other way. And still I am at the exact same weight as when I hit my goal weight. And
Wow.
yeah, my body, when I talk to it, when I reach for it, it talks back and it reaches back. I had no
Yeah.
idea, Lulu.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Halo in here says, "How did you do this?" I'm assuming she talked about your picture. So I would assume diet and workout.
Yeah. Diet, workout, but also mindset.
Mm,
It was, to be honest with you, a lot of it was also the art of manifestation. For instance, when I didn't go and cut out pictures of guys' bodies and stuff, that was when I was in high school. I did that, you know. But anyway, um,
uh,
what I would do though, if I was when at the gym, if I saw arms on a guy that looked like had my stature, and I was like, I like the way his arms are shaped, or the way he developed the shelf of his
yeah.
chest, I would ask that person, what
Mm,
series of exercises have you done and continue to do to create that look right there? And so I would watch them and they would show me, and I would start manifesting what I saw on them on me. And
beautiful.
it found its way right where I saw it.
I love it.
Yeah.
So that metabolic diet that you did, which I love, by the way, I was part of the whole process, seeing your evolution. I was actually visiting you too, in you and Brian in Chicago, and seeing your meals. I don't know how you did it. Well, back then I don't know how I couldn't figure out how you did it. Then I did my own journey of like little tiny portions and measuring everything, because that was my thing too. I always said, I'll never count calories. I'll never measure my amount of food. I'm eating healthy, and that's all there's to it. But then I realized it's not just about what I eat, it's how I eat and how much I eat too. So,
So incredible.
yeah.
I am telling you, so many little subtle things that we just wipe away as nothing. For instance, once I hit the goal weight, it was time for my treat meal. Well, I hadn't hit the goal weight. It was in the relaxed phase,
Right.
where you start incorporating a little bit of freedom. So it was
Yeah.
my very first treat meal. And I think I chose a hamburger and fries, right?
Mm.
And one of the things that was so, what do they mean by this? When I started, they said, make sure you eat your meal within 1 hour. I was like, okay, I got 4 pieces of cucumber, a chicken patty, you know, some berries, and water.
Mm.
How in the world is that supposed to last an hour? Next thing you know, Brian's like, honey, it's been 40 minutes. I thought you said you had to eat that in an hour. I looked down and I was still eating. It was incredible. Fast food, I would devour.
Right.
You know, don't even
Yes.
taste it. Because I was trying to get it out of the way. Get thee behind me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Eating out of guilt. Almost
Mm.
trying to make sure I buried the evidence. Literally.
Mm.
Right. There were all these things that I was doing that I had no idea. But then when it was the living food, it became eating was more of a ritual.
Beautiful.
It was more than just eating to be, to feed my body, but it was also a spiritual walk where I was also feeding my soul at the same time. And therein took the hour. So little things like that and things reaching out to me and feeling natural. Now I navigate. I found out that my body prefers fresh fruit and only fresh fruit really first thing in the day. So
Really
yes,
nice.
so I eat fresh. I noticed that my vegetables started becoming more and more raw. So where I
Okay.
used to steam them, first I used back in the old days boil them. The water'd be all green or whatever color because I done boiled everything out of it. And then I started steaming them, but I'd still get them where they were like, just kind of mushy.
Yes.
Um, the water would still be green, even though it hadn't touched the water. I was like, how's it doing that? Steaming the good stuff right out of it. So
Right.
I started realizing that the crisper my vegetables were, the more my
More
body
nutrition.
craved them. Yes.
Right.
So even now, I love eating raw. And that's a
Beautiful.
diet that some people are on, raw. I said, okay,
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
So
Good
that's
morning. Good morning.
hi everybody. So that's how it worked for me. It everything I reached for, even though I didn't know the specific name or whatever, but it felt natural.
Mm.
If it feels natural, it means because it is of nature, and it is your first mind. And I started accepting that instead of going to, well, maybe I ought to have, which is my second mind, which is aptly named second guessing. I guessed my way into not wanting to see anything, including myself. And I had
Mm.
to literally, willingly choose to undo that horrible mindset I had created. And that's really the greatest part for me of that metabolic balance diet experience. It helped me get that out of the way, and I believe once and for all.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. I read somewhere, it's like a quotes of God, right? Conversations with God.
Oh, yeah, I
And
love that book.
I love that. So there's a few of them. So in the second one, I believe he speaks about how, we have to get out of the mind and into our feelings and our senses, right? So and that's like where they have the phrase of it makes no sense, or get out of this, it doesn't have any sense to it, because we're not in our senses, we're in our mind, and we're stuck in here. And when you do like what you said you did, really just followed what felt natural to you, that's when you went into the senses rather than in the mind that keeps telling you what you should eat, what you shouldn't eat, and things of that nature. I want to talk about the little journey you took to the Ozarks. I know about it, but I want you to share a little bit more about it, because that really was, I think, once you shed all that weight, and allow me to speak maybe in your behalf, that
Yeah,
you got more clarity.
I did.
Yeah. And then things kind of started elevating for you and evolving in a whole nother way, and you decided, you didn't decide, you were guided. So tell us about the journey that you took after you reached your goal weight, you
Yeah,
felt good, happy with the reflection, feeling more clarity.
absolutely. Well, one of the things, I'll go back a little bit, was, and you were there, and I know Sean Jones is here, so he heard some of it back in the day, which was about, I don't know, back this time last year, I think.
Mm.
Started getting the download about, back then it was called the year of Jubilee, which
Right.
we found out was a real thing in the Catholic and the Lutheran churches, something that comes around every 25 or 50 years. It is
Yeah.
like a specific season on earth where lots increased blessing pours out. And so it was entered that way. And then after we realized it was a real thing, I was told to go back and just call it the great outpouring. And it said, remember, they said, when I say they, I mean everything great. They said, Loren, now remember and tell everybody, in
Funny.
order for, these are the four that are headed to your door: increase, prosperity, blessing, and what was the other one? Increase, prosperity,
Progress,
blessing,
prosperity, blessings, and abundance.
abundance. Absolutely right. And so, but this time they're not coming to just visit you. They're coming to move in, but they're only moving in with those of you who are expectant. So expect everything. And don't be surprised, because when we are surprised to receive blessing, in most cases, we squander a large part of that blessing because we didn't expect it. So we don't know what we haven't planned what we're going to
Right.
do with it. And they
Right.
say, take a note from people who win those big lotteries. They buy tickets sometimes for decades in anticipation of one day winning. But then they do win. And before you know it, in a few weeks or months, they are worse off than before they won the money. Why? Because even though they went through the ritual of buying the tickets, in their mind and in their heart, they never really expected to win. And when
Yeah.
they did, they were surprised. And look what happened. That's all I needed to hear. So I was like, okay, I'm going to start seeing it this way. Ding dong. Who is it? Oh, abundance. I'm going to increase, blessing, prosperity. Oh, I see you brought all your shit. Come on in. Your rooms are upstairs, clearly marked. Wash up. Don't unpack. We ain't got time. You can do it later. We eat in 10. Because I wanted to say it in my mind. I wanted to drop it off the same way I wanted to pick it up.
Mm.
And that was believing, and believing even more. And boy, did it happen. It happened. It happened. It happened for me in the same way the download about your billboard.
Times Square, you're right.
Yeah, because it happened first multiple times where I expected what I saw, what they showed me, snapshots, because that's one of my divine gifts, brief glimpses into the certain greatnesses of certain people. And a snapshot frozen in my mind's eye, insight. Insight is internal, and it is where what is greater than us will place things within plain sight. But you can only access it. In my mind, I pick up a kaleidoscope, and I look and I see what's right there. And I saw your billboard. They showed me your billboard.
Right.
They showed me that they were coming. And boy, they did. So when I knew that that was happening and I was expectant, I wanted, it's just like when you know you're going to go to a wedding or some big thing months away. You start getting ready. I better lose 5 pounds. I got to find that dress. I got to fit in that suit. I want to look great. Class reunions, whatever it is. And we do things to make sure we can show up our best because we expect something wonderful when we get there. And we want to bring something wonderful. And so that was the process for me. And so I started with the body, and which was my mind, and then the other lanes, emotionally and spiritually. And they all just started blending in together for the very first time, like a spiritual tie-dye. Yeah. And it is, and I can look to the right where the future is and continue, and I can see that it will continue to blend every part of my life, past, present, and future. And there's nothing greater. Nothing. It's what I would call, and everybody ought to have one experience.
I love
Everybody
that.
ought to have one.
Everybody. And for our audience too that is here and that are listening, we're still in the year of Jubilee. So there is still time for you to manifest your heart's desire, to believe it, to expect it, expect great things to come your way. And like I said, in the spiritual well-being, it's not necessarily have to be you connecting to something religious or something higher power. First and foremost, connect to yourself, connect to your intuition, individuality, all of those things that make you who you are, make you believe in your abilities and what you bring into this world, so you can grow with that. I believe in the mind-body connection. I always tell you guys about it too. And when Dr. Loren told me right is the future and left is the past, and I've been suffering from neck pain on my left side for weeks. And I was like, that's what it is. I'm calling myself, I'm doing the work, higher power, God, whatever you personally believe in, that's what I believe in, is calling me to my present future. All the things I want to create for myself, I expect them to happen, yet I keep looking back. So stop looking back. Focus on the now, focus on you, focus on your future, focus on your spiritual well-being, on your physical well-being. If you're struggling with food or anything, allergies, weight gain, whatever it may be, do what you can for that as well, because that will help you gain the clarity that you need in order to move forward. So
that's right.
Yeah.
You know what? That's a great point. I forgot about that thing with your neck.
Yeah.
But when they said be expectant, that means yet to come. Expected is what you did in the past.
Right.
And so, look to the future. Why is that so important? I believe one of the litmus tests of the universe is when something works in both directions. Mean what you say what you mean. Full of meaning equals meaningful. Wow. A divine moment in time. WOW. WOW. And where it pertains to where we are now is because now I can close my eyes and look into the vault of my soul, and I can see every one of my heart's desires. And I nod and I honor that right now in this very moment. But then I can also turn to the right where the future lies, and I can see the hand outstretched of what is greater than me. And in that hand, I see the desires of my heart. Heart's desires, desires of my heart, works in both directions. And therefore, what I am reaching for, I see is actually and literally in real time reaching back for me. And that is powerful. It
Yes.
gets rid of the question that scares us. Can it happen? Is it real? The question mark is proof that what you believe is greater than you is right there. It's already in there, waiting for you. That's why they are called windows of opportunity, right next door to the door of opportunity. If you look through them, you don't got to rush in. Even Elvis said, only fools rush in, right? So look through the window. Ooh, there's that house I want. Oh, I know that ain't my wife and kids or my husband and kids or whatever it is. There's the nonprofit I've always dreamed of. And uh-oh. What is that box over there? They got no label on it. Uh-oh. Must be something wrong. What's in there? Bomb? Then we say, don't be afraid of something you don't know. That is so you know this is not an ego trap. This is not an angle. This is not something you didn't expect sneaking up behind you. This is everything you see in front of you and more, more, more. So when you see something that makes you question, no, that's because I want you to understand. There's still things you don't know, but we do. Come on in. The door is right there. Use it. Window of opportunity, door of opportunity, because the door is necessary. Because if you want to get through something, you have to first be willing to go into something. You
Yes.
see what I'm saying? That's right. That's right. That's absolutely right. So usually that door, you step in. Ouch! What did I step on? A little pain? Uh-oh. Just remember, that's why they're not called growing tickles. They're called growing pains. Soon as you feel some pain in something you know is for you, get to the wall. Get to the wall, stand on it, like when you were kids. And let what is greater than you mark the pencil so you can step away and look at that wall. Whoa, I grew from here to here.
Yes.
See, you are growing. You don't have to wait until you're the other side of it. As soon as you feel some pain and you know you have asked to move to a new level, well, doesn't that prove you've been answered? You are growing. Feel the pain? Now get to the wall so we can show you. Because it's just like a woman having a baby. When she's screaming, it's, oh, Lord Jesus, you ain't never touching me again. And then as soon as the baby's born, oh,
You're right.
we have another one. Right. The pain is forgotten
Yes.
because of the joy the result brings.
Yes.
So be expectant of the result.
Yes.
A woman knows there's going to be pain, but she also knows there's going to be joy. She
Right.
expects it. That's why they say, I'm expecting.
Love it. Bell that. Yes, honey.
That
Yes.
just came through right now on the spot.
Yes.
There it is.
I felt it too. I felt it was just the first. See, I'm getting some firsts from you too. You always get firsts from me. And I always love what you say too. You always talk about, leave doubt out. So you open the door to opportunity, but make sure you leave doubt out, because if you know where you're going and you're secure in your mission in this world. And that's why I said again, with the spiritual well-being, it's about finding meaning. It's about seeing your role in this life, in this world. It's about your opportunities and what you bring here and your purpose. It's all about your self-awareness. When you're here and you're secure in that, only magic can happen. Joanne says, yes, I already posted this, but I want you to see, I didn't know if you see it. She said, Doctor, you're so funny and wonderful. See, that's a manifestation for me too, because we just talked about the whole doctor thing, and now it's like I'm feeling like Dr. L.
Thank you. I
Mm.
received that. And I
Yes.
want to say this because it's one of your things you had up on the screen at the beginning of the show, connection to yourself and well-being. And that's what I wrote down because I didn't want to forget. It's true. It is the catalyst of change, and I mean lasting change, where you don't have to keep starting over. It is just like a slinky. It keeps moving head over heels, heels over. It is momentum. It is
Yes.
momentum. And so it starts with remembering who you truly are, remembers you to where you truly are at, which then reveals where you're supposed to go next, and what you're supposed to do when you get there. So all of those other pieces are contingent on you remembering who you are.
Yes.
Do not be
And
afraid.
remembering, right? We always say
Remembering
that.
yourself. Connect it.
Right.
Click.
Connecting, right.
Because when you remember to your original self, you understand what you came with, everything that you cannot be taught. Things you didn't buy from a university, you didn't get out of a book. They were imprinted. They came within the hands of your soul. Your soul is holding these things. And so it's so important because that's
Yeah.
how you can, that's sometimes we see things and we can't believe it's too good to be true.
Right.
Where's how is something too good?
Right. It's only our fears,
There's no
our
such
doubts.
thing as too good. Give me some too good.
I'll take it.
You see what I'm saying? Right.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah,
But
big thing.
that comes, that's years. I can tell you that's years for me of like anxiety and fears and trying to live out and heal my trauma. But I always expected the other shoe to drop. So it always did. You know what I mean? I constantly manifested it because it was all I knew when I grew up as a little girl. The pain of things. So that's really what I looked for, and that's really always what happened until I changed my mindset.
Well,
Go
you
ahead.
see
I
how you
see you
just
dying
you
to say
phrased
something. Go ahead.
it? You just said heal my trauma. And
Mm,
that's part of it. But once you start that process, a lot of people don't expect that trauma can heal you. That's
mm,
why when we live beyond our scars,
right.
trauma begins to heal us. Because this scar on this finger was when I was 9 years old, and it was a few weeks before the boy known as Larry would never be known as Larry again. He would be known as Loren, and he would continue to move through life and hopefully do some great things before he finished this life. But why
Amen.
is this scar here? Is to remind me it wasn't always the way it is today. Never forget who you are. You are the boy who began this journey as Larry. And for 9 years, he got you started. And then he had to sit right there and wait for you to come back as Loren to remind him of why he had to take those very first punches to the gut. Why it was his nose that got broken at the beginning. Why it was his tears that created every syllable of the words of my story that now read in the beginning, or if you're a non believer, once upon a time. But he is what attaches me to a beginning. See, so many of us want to say, well, I didn't start living until after my first divorce. Life for me became wonderful when I had my first child. Listen, do not take your story out of context.
Right.
Do not leave every syllable, every tear you've ever cried, whether for joy or pain. It represents that you still have something in your world that is meaningful and full
Yes.
of meaning. Those tears create syllables to every single word that the world will remember long after your face is forgotten. After all of the things you leave for people to touch and see have fallen apart or, you know, been dropped off by mankind because they don't feel they're important. But somewhere in the world, someone will whisper a story that you left and they will be changed because you have left something that enables people to feel something. So many of us race towards the end of our journey, collecting things to prove we have done the right things. But have you ever seen a U-Haul behind a hearse? How about a set of Louis Vuitton luggage next to somebody's casket?
Right.
Mm-mm. You cannot take things you touch with you. You should only bring things that you can feel with you. They are your ticket to what comes next, the life after this life.
Amen.
Right. So, and
Mhm.
it's not, and if that scares you, then don't say the afterlife. Concentrate on the life before the next life. Call it that,
Right. Right.
which
And
is
it
now.
goes with right, and it goes with the quote that I put before, about our physical, we're not spirit physical being having a spiritual experience, we're spiritual being having a physical experience because we
Exactly.
first and foremost are that. I actually got another one for you that I love, and I know how much you care. And right, we're gonna finish our conversation with that. And if you have anything else you want to leave the audience with, but I put this quote for us. Let me show you that one by your favorite. Uh, we
I
delight.
knew it.
We can hear you too, so I put you on
Yeah.
a broadcaster. We delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty. That's by Dr. Maya Angelou. So, and I know how much you love her, but
Oh, look,
yeah. Wait,
there's a
let me see.
butterfly on the screen back there.
Oh yes,
And that's
absolutely.
absolutely right.
Yeah,
Metamorphosis. Embrace
yeah.
the change and let the change change you.
Yeah, and the caterpillar is not like scared to go into the cocoon, and the one that's in the cocoon is not telling himself, "Oh my God, I'm going to be stuck here forever." It just goes with the process of the transformation and allows itself to become what it was meant to become in this life. So, as always, a conversation with you is always enlightening and heart filling and heartwarming. And I really am so thankful for your journey. I'm so thankful we met and our journeys, you know, intertwined,
Me.
and we get to do so many beautiful things together and serve together. If there's anything else you want to leave the audience with, please feel free. I think you said beautiful things. So if you want to sum up anything,
I just want to leave with this.
yes.
And I mean this, and you mentioned it, and it's on the back of all my business cards because I don't want to forget. So ask yourself every day, what will you do today that eases some form of suffering in the world? A lot of us would say, well, how do I do that when I have so much of my own? That's because you can relate. And
Mm.
that's what it takes in order to create something that transforms people. A place of knowing. You cannot be an imposter. You must be an authority. And an authority is only because you have lived experience. So I want to tell you this, it's not as hard as you may think. It requires two things. Get up every day. Look for one E and one R. You're already great. Look for a way today to become greater. You may already be nice. Look for a way to become nicer. Because that E and that R are so powerful. The next day you wake up and you are resplendent. You are remembered. You are responsible. You are rewired, reviewed, refreshed, revived, replenished. Go on and on and on. So get up every day and do this. Ask yourself, what can I bring to the world today that this world has never seen before? There is something. But the only way you can find that is if you're also willing to get up today and say, today I can be a Loren I have never been before. Do those two things and they are one and the same. You will leave something in this world they will find for thousands of years. And every time you do it, you are literally grouting yourself inside of the hallways of history. Your voice will echo for a long, long time. And that is powerful. That is what the soul comes here to accomplish. So take that with you and change everything around you.
Everything.
Mhm.
Yes. Amen to that. Amen to that.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
grateful for you and all your wisdom. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. It's so good to have you here. Finally, I got you in on my show. So thank you so much for being here. And I posted all your information throughout the show. And if anybody wants to reach to you, this is we put I put your YouTube, I put your Facebook, the
And I want to get
website, of
30 days
course.
of free coaching, 4 sessions, 4 1 hour sessions.
For
Uh,
1 hour
two,
session to whom? The first
one
person who contacts you? How many
first
people?
person who contacts me.
First person who contacts Dr. Loren through his Instagram or Facebook, not Instagram, Facebook or YouTube, or
Yep.
I'll put his website as well.
Yep.
You get 4 free sessions of coaching.
Absolutely.
Man, that was generous. Thank you so
Of
much, Dr.
course.
Loren.
Of
Beautiful. I
course.
appreciate it.
Somebody's ready.
Yes.
Somebody's ready. I see it. I see it.
Yes.
Hmm. Come on and
And
get
they
it.
and they need you and they need you. You always get us right to where we need to be. So
I appreciate
I
it. Thank
appreciate you. I'm gonna continue with a quick book recommendation, but I will say bye and I will talk to you soon. Thank you
you.
so
Thank you.
much. Love you. Um, Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Dr. Loren. Oh my God, that was incredible. So run to that website of Dr. Loren after we're done in here. It only starts in 5 minutes from now. I don't want to lose you because I do have a book recommendation that I want to share with you that has to do with what we were talking about. Let me introduce the segment and we'll be right back.
We could stay right here.
Yes, so I don't know if you ever heard of the book A Man. Wait, now, of course, I'm going to black out. I'm reading it every single day, right? But now I'm all excited about it. So, Men's Search for Meaning. I want to say A Man's Search, but I know there's no A in the beginning. So, Men's Search for Meaning is an incredible book by Viktor Frankl. Let me put the cover right here. And this is honestly one, for me, it's powerful on another level just because I am Jewish, so I know the Holocaust pain on a different level and much closer to home. But anyone that will listen will understand the horrors, but it's not about that. And that's the beautiful part of it. It's not about the horrors, it's about how they survive them, right? And the really psychotherapeutic method that Viktor Frankl talks about how in three different ways men can find that meaning in life, and it helps him survive and grow. And that's really what we're talking about as far as like the spiritual well-being. That's why I felt like it's connected here, because when you find meaning into your life, when you find purpose in what you're doing, when you see the role that you play in this world as bigger than you, that's when everything can change. That's when you can manifest those 300 plus $1,000 contracts like Dr. Loren did after his journey that he just shared with us. The clarity, the mindfulness, the going within, the intuition. And Viktor Frankl, he speaks about, if you find meaning in accomplishing a task, right? Or the connection you have with a loved one. That's one of the biggest things that helped him survive it. He constantly had conversations with his wife in his head about, anything and everything, just sharing his days as a prisoner in the concentration camps. And also the third thing that he said, I believe it was identifying the purpose, finding meaning in the suffering, of course, which is the biggest one. And I know it firsthand because anytime something happened to me, the first thing I say is, what does it mean? And what is the meaning I'm giving to it? Because when we give meaning to things, that's what will decide how they will be in our lives. What will they contribute to our life? One thing can happen and two different meanings can create two different trajectories of life. So what meaning we give to something is the focus that we give it. And then where focus goes, energy flows. That's one of my Tony Robbins favorite sentences that I always say. And that's really how you can change, design, create the life that you have by giving meaning to things. So if you find meaning in your suffering, knowing that there is a greater purpose to this, right? And if you just constantly look for the purpose of your life and on your journey, you can become something greater than you. You can manifest your heart's desires or the desires of your heart, like Dr. Loren said. So, I highly recommend reading this book, Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor E. Frankl. Beautiful, powerful. I don't think there is a man in this world like a CEO. I mean, Tony Robbins, that's his number one book that he recommends all the time too, by the way, because I just mentioned him. But there are so many leaders in the world that recommend this book just because of the understanding of how much we can control our lives by the meaning we give to things. I want to thank you everybody for being here again. Ila said one of the most life-changing books ever. Yes, unbelievable, true. I love it. I'm glad you think the same. I'm gonna, remind you guys that it will be great if you always be in contact with me and chat with Lulu-Lee and share book recommendations like that. I would love to share your book recommendations. If you have poetry that you love or create or write, share it with me so I can share it here on the stage. If you have a story, that is amazing, your personal inspirational beauty story, let me hear about it. Want to be on the guest on the show? Please send a picture, a short bio to chatwithlululee@gmail.com and tell me a little bit about your inspirational beauty story or your profession, what it is that you do. And I would love to bring you on the show. Anything else, if you're new, if you're on Facebook, jump to YouTube, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, make sure you are subscribed and share with others. I'm really trying to create and grow this inspirational beauties community. So I thank you for being here. Much love from here in Israel. Thank you, Mirav. Thank you, Joanne, for being here. I see you. I see your hearts, and I appreciate you. Blessings to everyone. Thank you, Joanne. I appreciate you guys for being here with me and helping me grow this beautiful community. And, next week, we're going to start talking about eating disorders. I'm going to continue from here about the wealth and the physical wealth and the diet. And I'm going to share my personal story with eating disorders and my journey. And if you have a story, chat with Lulu-Lee@gmail.com or be here live so I can see you in the chat and you can share your own personal story and personal experience. As always, you come for the beauty, you stay for the breakthrough. I appreciate you for giving me the one commodity that you can never get back, which is your time. And my gang here, my gang of kindness and hearts core, sharing unicorns, rainbows, love, and just be kind to one another. If you have the choice to be right or to be kind, always choose being kind. I love you all. Many blessings again, and thank you for being here. I'll see you next week. Later.
Show me life, show me love, make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love, show me life, show me love, make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love, this is all we got. Show me life, show me love, this is all we got. Show me